That is stupid policy. I'm sorry, but that's stupid policy. This government is encouraging export, but they're encouraging a farm to the seaport activity. Okay? Now that is to say...
Which is exactly what they do with the oil.
Yes. That is, and it is wrong. It is wrong because what you do when you take produce from the farm and take them straight to the seaport to export it to the white man, what you're doing is that you're eliminating the middle sector, because you have three sectors of agriculture. One is production. It could be livestock, it could be production of, food and stuff. Then the middle ground is processing, and the third part is the business part of agriculture, marketing and distribution and all of that. Now, but what we're doing is that we're cutting off the middle ground, which is actually what provides employment, right? So we take from the farm and we go straight to the seaport, and that's what the NEPC, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, is promoting through the federal government, right? That policy is absolutely wrong. So one of the things we must do to create jobs is that, one, invite companies to come set up. Governments in every state must find creative ways to lure, companies that are manufacturing or processing companies to come and set up in their states. Also, you also have to invest in processing industries that may not necessarily have their own brands, but process for Nigerians who have developed their own products and their brands. And what you do for them, they can outsource their production to you. Because for me, I'm a product developer, right? And there are a number of products that I've developed that I know are best sellers, can sell anywhere in the world, but I can't scale them because I don't have the money to set up the factory. I don't even want to set up the factories because it costs a lot of money to set up the factory. Outsourcing is a great way, to make profit and own brands without owning a factory. But then who do you outsource to? There are not companies in the Southeast that we can outsource to. So imagine every state in the Southeast sets up processing industries that individual product developers can outsource their production to.
I'm curious to find out why that second part, the processing part, is undermined and underemphasized.
Lack of know-how.
Okay, now because I don't know how a country can make progress if it produces crude oil, exports it, and then imports the finished product.
It's crazy, Uche. And we're talking about subsidy. And you see why America and Europe these countries don't want the best for Africa. And so you see them keep talking about they're advising the Nigerian government to remove subsidies. How should you be advising a government, one time we were one of the 6 largest producers of crude oil in the world. Now we're one of the first 12. Now, how do you advise a major oil producer to eliminate subsidies? The advice you should be given is stop the processing of your crude outside Nigeria. Fix your refineries. Because they're saying we will eliminate subsidies. It's costing federal government so much money. Who begged you for subsidies? Fix the refineries, then you wouldn't have need for subsidies. You're paying subsidies because the cost of transporting the crude oil overseas to export and bringing it back is huge. And so you're incurring that cost and then you're trying to cushion it. If you were smart, what you would do is make the refineries work. And so as we begin to refine locally, the cost of the products will come down and then everybody's happy and you wouldn't need to pay subsidies.
We probably will serve the African continent.
Of course. So that's one. But I was trying to finish my thought. Now, you see, so if government encourages companies to come and set up that can take outsourcing contracts from developers like me, product developers like me, they will create jobs, but we also can begin to own our own individual local brands that can sell in the local market and be exported as well. We need exports, but we need to stop the practice of this from the farm to the seaport. We need to do from the farm to the processing factory and then to the seaport for export. Because what happens is that imagine that all the chocolate you have in the world are coming, the cocos are coming from Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. But what happens is that they come and they pay us peanuts for this, raw materials. They take them overseas, process them, and return them back and sell them to us for an arm and a leg. That is stupid policy. I'm sorry, but that's stupid policy. It doesn't add up. So what we simply need to do, and Ghana started that recently, and I was so happy. Ghana is saying to Switzerland, no more. We're not selling our cocos anymore. We'll begin to process them ourselves. Because imagine, the best chocolate raw material in the world is called the brownies from Holland. Holland took cocoa from Africa and developed a brand called brownies. It's cocoa in powder. that if you want to produce chocolate, you just need to take that and put them in the machines. And they're making trillions of dollars from those products that came from Africa. And we, the Africans that are farming the cocoa, aren't making anything. Does that make sense? So what we need to do is discourage the exportation of raw materials, but encourage the processing of this raw materials in Nigeria, and then exporting the finished products.
All right.
And our economies will grow.